And then whoever wins those games, does the Super Bowl right after that, or is it a little bit later?
I think it's 2 weeks after that.
It's 2 weeks after that. Okay.
For informational purposes.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're not worried about none of that.
I'm just thinking because I'm all about a schedule and a time, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we're just focused on Green Bay. We're just focused on winning one game.
I'm just saying in terms of schedule for myself.
We're just focused on winning just one game, Saturday night, Green Bay Packers, 49ers. And boy, it's going to be a goodie. What are you looking forward to most about the game?
What's up, you guys? Welcome to the Warner House. We are back here on just a good day. We've had a great day today. We've had a long weekend. We've had a long week since we last talked to everyone. So it has been a nice little minute.
A cool minute.
I know.
People haven't been able to watch 49er football for an entire week.
Yeah.
That makes things really just, people are on edge. I'm on edge.
I can tell. I could tell you were cracking like about 2 days ago. You know, it was all fun whenever everything was fine in the beginning, whenever we were excited. Oh, we get some time off, all the things. But then Fred definitely started to crack.
Oh.
It was 2 days ago. I could tell. I could see the wheels in your brain like moving around and you just needing to like be in your structure. So we're back. Are you happy? Is that funny?
I'm happy every day.
I know you're extra happy though because you're back in the swing of football.
That I get to be your husband.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
How's your day been?
Give me one moment, Mom. We're doing a podcast right now, so the sound. That's why I just said that.
Listen, just.
Do you want me to give you a minute? You tell me when you're ready, and then I'll start.
We'll just leave that in there.
No,
for organic.
Stop. I hate it when you say that.
Oh my God, we have to keep that in.
No.
See? Okay. So getting back on track. Take one good deep breath together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Need another?
Just stop it. Just stop talking for a second. Okay. Okay.
Oh gosh.
So we are back in the swing of things. We're starting your work week. We're starting a normal week of football. So yeah.
Just really excited to get back to work. How's your day been?
It's been a day. It's been a good day. Today is actually Martin Luther King Day. Shout out MLK.
Yes,
RIP.
absolutely.
Thank you for your service.
Your service.
Yeah, he was a service to the American people.
Absolutely.
And actually the world.
The world.
He was actually a service to the world. So, it's a beautiful bank holiday today. Everything was kind of normal. We had a beautiful doctor's appointment today that we went to.
We sure did.
That Fred got to come with me to because today's technically, I guess, an off day. But it's never like really off. But it's an off day, so he got to come with me to my doctor's appointment, which was really great because we don't always get that. So, yeah, we had a great doctor's appointment. Things are fine and great. And then, yeah, it's been a good day.
Been a great day. I think that was the highlight of my day, was being able to be there with you.
I think so, too. Me, too. I had a really good Pilates session this morning. So
really?
Yeah, that was nice.
Wow.
Jen over at Encore really... You know, it's like, it's about the body, but it's also about the mind and the spirit. And sometimes I go in there and I just need to like, talk.
Yeah.
It's like a therapy session as well as like a physical thing.
Right.
So.
And that's good.
Kill two birds with one stone.
Very nice. So let's kind of take the folks back. Obviously, it's been a very long week.
Enough about us.
Enough about us. Well, actually, we're going to talk a little bit more about us. Actually, we're going to talk about how this past week went.
Okay.
And what we got ourselves into, really using the most out of this bye week that we had. Yeah, do you want to kind of take them through like how the week went?
It's been really chill, you guys. We really haven't done anything. I mean, it's been very just relaxing. We watched a bunch of football. Just a bunch of football. Just normal week. It hasn't been anything crazy. We didn't do anything out of the ordinary, really.
Mm-hmm.
Just a normal week.
Yeah, the way the week goes for the players is you want to obviously use the week as a tool to then prep for this week, right? You want guys to get healthy, you want guys rejuvenated, fresh, but you also don't want to use it as like a regular bye week in season, because like regular bye weeks in season, you want to fully detach for a week. You want to get away, you want to get your mind off of football for a week, so you can come back and you're like refreshed also, but like kind of in a different manner. Like you want to, because it's such a long stretch of a season, right? You have left.
Yeah.
Now, this not a long stretch we got left. You literally got to win a couple games to hoist that thing at the end.
Well, 3 weeks, so a little bit less than a month.
Right, but it's not like 7 or 8 games.
I have a question.
Okay,
if and when we make it to the Super Bowl.
Oh wow.
When is it like? I always forget. I don't.
How about
know.
we ask it? We'll ask it a little later.
Why?
Because we're not there yet.
All right, like you were just saying, you're
the thick of football and the thick of pregnancy.
Yeah, could we?
Holy smokes!
Yeah.
Everybody's like, Fred, what are you doing going to doctor's appointments? You have a game coming up. You should be in the film room.
Is that what they're saying?
They probably.
Really?
I don't know. I'm talking about like fans.
Oh, fans for sure would say something like
that. But anyway, back to this whole bye week talk. We used it to the fullest of our advantage. We did a great job. I mean, obviously, our Coach Shanahan, was the one who did a great job in making sure that he orchestrated how we went about it. But yeah, it was a great combination of staying sharp, keep sharpening the axe for when it's time to chop, and as well as getting that rejuvenation, that refreshment that you need to get the guys in tip top before we got to go out to war, go out to battle. Mm-hmm. And like you mentioned, we watched a lot of football. Mm-hmm. And from a player's perspective of sitting on the couch watching the games, it's like I found myself kind of multiple times throughout the weekend being like, it's so crazy that over half of the league is their season's done.
Yeah.
We haven't had a first round bye since 2019, and we're in 2024 now, or I guess that was 2020 when we had the bye, for that whatever. And so it's been so long since we had a bye week, and I kind of forgot what that feeling's like. And now being able to kind of sit back and have the bye, mm-hmm. it makes you kind of reflect a little bit more, like having played a good amount of ball and being, kind of experienced in the NFL now. Mm-hmm. Knowing that a lot of teams are sitting at home, and then you're also watching the games like, dang, I'm going to be doing that in a week. Like I'm going to be on that field, flying around. Chaotic, just like and people are gonna be sitting there watching me.
That's how you watch like a Thursday night game.
I know, but for some reason the playoffs is just different. You're at the end of the season.
Everyone's playing way harder.
You're at the end of the season, and the level of intensity goes up, and then there's only a few games left in the year. It's like, whoa,
yeah,
So you kind of like how I was talking about it last week. Like, how do you not like just completely lock in, dial in at this point in the season? It's like, whoa, like you better make the most of it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of teams didn't this past weekend.
So it was exciting for you to watch the games?
Very exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, one, because we wanted to figure out who we were playing. And then two, just being an avid football fan.
Remember last night?
And being a player as well.
Whenever it came up on the screen of who we were, because we were watching, I forget what game it was.
The last game or the first one? Game. The Lions versus Rams? And
after the Lions won, after the credits ran and all that's not credits, but it came up that we finally got our schedule that we were going to play on Saturday night at 5:15 or 5, and I like said it out loud, and you just like ignored me, or you weren't listening, and you thought I was just like guessing because we've been talking like all week about Saturday or Sunday, and then I was like, no, Fred, like it's on the screen, it says right there, and I just saw you like lit up. You were so excited.
We're playing on Saturday night?
Yeah.
Prime time? Oh my God.
You were excited.
Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we didn't know if we were playing on Sunday. We didn't know we were playing on Saturday. We didn't know if it was a day game, night game.
I was waiting to like make all my appointments for the week, depending on what were happening. Mm-hmm. And I was like, for sure we're going to play on Sunday. For sure we are. And then guess what? I had to change everything. So I was wrong. We're playing Saturday, which is fun. When was the last time that we played did we play on a Saturday last playoffs? Do you remember?
I can't remember.
Yeah, far. But
Like last year?
Like last year in the playoffs.
Maybe. I'm pretty sure we probably did have. I mean, because we played 3 games.
We played a lot of games.
So one of those had to have been Saturday.
My Saturday, yeah. So Saturday Night Lights.
It's gonna be electric. Yeah. Levi
I hope
Stadium.
Levi's is lit.
No, it's gonna be
sold out.
But the lights, thing is, camera action.
The thing is, though, I wonder if the fans are just kind of used to playoffs because we usually always do make it because we're very blessed, and we usually always do. And then these games they're pretty, like the tickets are way more expensive than regular tickets.
Sure.
So I wonder if it will be like a sold out, crazy packed game, or if people kind of save their tickets for the regular season. I don't know. I'm sure it'll be fun.
It'll be packed out.
Yeah.
The electricity in the building will be whoa.
And how many fans from Green Bay do you think will make it out?
A good amount. Because we played Green Bay in the playoffs before.
It's not, yeah.
And we played them at home, NFC Championship in 2019.
Oh.
And there were some fans. Not a lot. Mostly Niners out there. But Green Bay travels well. They got a good fan base.
I was trying to think back to when I traveled with you to the game, the last playoff game that we played them to, and it was at Green Bay.
Correct.
Boy, that was a long travel day because Green Bay, if you're not it's in the middle of nowhere. That stadium, that little town, it is such a secluded little town. Which is beautiful, and it's a football town. It's a kind of it reminds me of my hometown, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, a lot because it's only football. Of course, we have the college that makes it really like that. But Green Bay is it's a football town.
It is a football town. They care a lot about the Packers.
Yeah.
But we'll talk more about the Packers in a second.
Okay.
We had a couple things go down this past week, that were of somewhat importance.
I'll start it off.
Sure.
Unanimous first-team All-Pro Fred Warner, 3-time All-Pro in year one of the 3 players that did make it unanimously selected. It was you, Christian McCaffrey. I'm sorry, Tyreek. Is that right?
Tyreek Hill. Yep.
Oh, so I thought, okay. So Fred, Christian McCaffrey, Tyreek Hill. Christian McCaffrey is obviously the Niners. Tyreek Hill plays for the Dolphins. So yeah, that was really exciting for you. The unanimous thing that's new of course you've made All Pro before. Not of course, it's a hard thing to do. Fred has made All Pro before twice. This is his 3rd year making All Pro, but this year he made All Pro and he made the unanimous first team All Pro, which means.
So how All Pro goes is they have 50 voters place their vote for who they believe should be a part of the first team.
And all 50 of those men voted for you.
All 50 voted for me.
Men or women.
Voted for Fred
Warner.
They voted for Fred Warner.
I love that.
And it was special. I mean, every single one is special. My goals at the beginning of the year are to, achieve these sort of things and to be at the top of my game, be better than I was last year, right? And the way I found people were like, oh, how do you find out? And I kind of had an idea that it was going to be during this past week. And my our head media guy, or not our head, but part of our media team, Peter, he's the one that I'm with every single day, kind of talking, coordinating media stuff. He said, hey, we're going to have this Zoom meeting for you. Talk a little bit about some things. I'm like, oh, all right, unassuming. And I sit down. And the guy was the head of the AP Voters Association or something like that. I forget what his head title was. I'm sure I'm butchering it. But anyway, he's like, Fred, I just want to let you know that you've been chosen to the first team All-Pro team this year, and you were a unanimous decision. And I'm like, oh. And Kobe was obviously
outside. Today's show is sponsored by BetterHelp. With the new year here, there's all kinds of anxieties and things to stress about and worry about for the new year ahead. Personally, what I am worried and have anxiety about is, the ending of my pregnancy, everything going smooth, the baby getting here, me being good, you being good, us being good, all the things that you can imagine. So there's a lot of unknown things and crazy things that happen after a baby's born. So I think it's always so healthy to be able to talk to someone about those issues if you do go through them. With BetterHelp, you can get help with finding your strengths so you can ditch the extreme resolutions and make changes that actually stick to you personally. If you're thinking of starting therapy, definitely give BetterHelp a try. It's completely online, which is really convenient for people that need a more more flexible schedule with their therapy choices, which is nice, especially if you're just starting out with your therapy journey. Celebrate the progress you've already made. Visit betterhelp.com/Warner today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Warner.
The guy tells me that I've been chosen as a first team All-Pro, and I was a unanimous decision, and I was just like shocked. I'm like, at a loss for words, because it just means a lot to because all I've ever wanted in this whole thing is like just the respect of my peers, of anybody who watches NFL football. I've always wanted that respect, to be known as the best in the game, and so like that right there meant everything. And it also means a lot because it's an individual award, but it also speaks to how great of a team and how great of a defense that I play on, because nobody achieves these sort of things just by themselves. Like, I'm a product of playing alongside amazing players in the Nick Bosa's and Eric Armsteads and the Dre Greenlaws and Oren Burks and these guys that I play alongside, like, who don't get any recognition. Like, this is for all of us, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, that's kind of how I look at it. And I'm so blessed to be a part of the 49ers. I'm blessed to even have this recognition. And I know for a fact that it's not just because of what I do. Like, I know this is a complete product of people around me who allow me to be the best at what I do. So, like I said, very grateful, very blessed to have been on that. And we had a lot of players make All-Pro this year. I think we had 5 first-team All-Pros, me, Trent, McCaffrey, George, Juice. Juice made it for the first time because they just added that fullback to the All-Pro team finally. And then second team, Mooney and BA making their first appearances as All-Pros. And all year, like, I was talking to Mooney about it. Me and him, we started speaking it back in Hawaii when we linked up in Hawaii, before the season started. We're in Hawaii and we're out there in the sand, like, doing drills and stuff. Like, just those little things that people don't know that happen behind the scenes, like all the work that he put in, and even through the highs and the lows. I know he was bummed out. He wanted to make first team, as I'm sure all of them do. But at the same time, like, making second team is, because there's only 2 corners that are chosen for first team. It's two corners chosen for second team.
Oh, wow. So that's huge.
It's so hard to make it.
Oh, that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's such a huge accomplishment. And the same thing with BA. Like,
and you said he came in, Mooney, this year with like a different mindset. Like, like you said, from off season when we were with him in Hawaii, like, he was just super, super motivated and just wanted to be different. And like, look, the work that he put in now.
Pro Bowl and an All Pro.
Huge.
And then BA made his first All Pro as well.
Yeah.
So he's fully deserving of that. I believe both of them should have been first team, hands down. But
I'm sure if they had 2 extra spots, it would have been them.
There you go. There you go. Next year.
Yeah.
Next year.
Love that for the Niners. That's awesome. They have so many. That's really cool.
No, it was.
Were we the most out of the NFL? Or was there another team that had more?
I don't know. I think the Cowboys may have had more.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah. That was
really
cool to see.
Speaking of the Cowboys, they had a game. And unfortunately, I don't know if it's unfortunate or not. Well, just,
it's unfortunate for them.
The way the cookie crumbled was
unfortunate for them and their fan base.
Yes, they lost to the
Green Bay Packers, who
we're
playing.
Packers.
You watched that game? What did you see?
But listen, I've watched so much football this week that it is just all meshed into one. I can't differentiate teams or anything anymore.
Yeah.
So, okay, wait. Let me get this right.
Around the playoffs.
The Packers beat the Cowboys 48-32. Jordan Love 16 to 21,
16 for 21.
16 for 21, 272 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
Jordan Love, game of his life in his playoff debut as the first year as a starter for the Packers, and he's just been phenomenal down the stretch. It's going to be a huge test for us this weekend. I'm not taking them lightly. I'm not taking the Packers lightly. The Cowboys must have taken them lightly because you could just tell from the beginning of that game, like, there was just it was a different feel about how Green Bay came out versus how Dallas came out. Like, you could tell Green Bay's mindset right away was literally they won the coin toss. And usually when you win the coin toss, you want to defer because that means that you're deferring your chance to receive the ball in the second half. And you go out there on defense, you get a stop, and then blah, blah, blah. Green Bay said, nah, we'll receive. So that means we'll take the ball first, and we're going to score it on you.
Mm-hmm.
And they literally walked them down and scored to go up 7-0 to start the game. And so little by little, they just kind of started planting seeds of doubt within the Cowboys. And ultimately, it was too much. It was too much of a deficit to overcome for the Cowboys. Like, yeah, they were able to score late in the game to try to make it a closer game. But man, I mean, my hat's off to the Green Bay Packers. I think I saw some that they're the youngest team in the NFL, regardless of playoffs or not. Like, they're the youngest team in the NFL, and like for them to have walked into Dallas and do something like that,
huge,
is big time for them.
Well, let's hope their luck doesn't run.
Yeah, we don't want
it
to continue. We don't want them to continue to be successful.
We don't.
It was good. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not kidding. We don't want them to be successful.
No, of course not. That's not what I'm kidding about. Yes, we don't want them to be successful. We are going to put together a great week of preparation. They have an advantage in the fact that they're coming off of a win, and we haven't played football in I don't know how long.
Yeah.
So that's their advantage. Our advantage is that we're fresh, we're at home, we're all these sorts of things.
Yeah.
So, I think people are gonna be like, "Oh, how do you not take them lightly?" That's not. First of all, if you're asking that question, then you don't know what the type of team that we have and the type of maturity that we've been. Like, I've been a part of way too many teams, way too many games to take anybody lightly.
Mm-hmm.
Remember what I was talking to you about the other day when I was talking about in the car, like, and how certain things have like changed the way I view games and like the way I approach
one thing
things.
Will happen in the rest of your career.
Scars.
Yeah.
I always talk about it. These scars that are left, and every scar allows more and more reflection and like kind of just not wasting a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Really taking everything like it's your last.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just like any of those other situations.
I know. I feel good about it. I'm excited. Another big game this week where the Texans beat the Browns 45-14. That is a huge win for us personally because go D'Amico. CJ Stroud's 157.2 passer rating was the highest mark for a rookie in NFL history. Is he the best rookie ever? Is that what's happening?
Him and Puka Nacua are right there neck and neck for greatest rookies. CJ Stroud has had an amazing year. Continues to do so even in the playoffs. Him and Jordan Love are like the talk of the town right now.
They look like they could be brothers too.
They're both light skinned. So that helps.
And they're young.
And they're both young.
Like babies.
They're both balling.
Yeah.
They both got that it factor to them. So yeah, I mean, things are going well for them too. They're both athletes first products.
Oh wow!
So
athletes first.
Shout out athletes first. My agency.
Wow.
Or the agency, not my agency, but the agency I'm a part
of. Fred owns it.
I don't own athletes first. Let's just make that clear. I'm grateful to be a part of the club. I'm just kind of right at the bottom, just kind of chilling out down there at the bottom of athletes first. So yeah. So the Texans, they took care of business against the Browns. That was a huge win for D'Amico. I mean, the fact that they even made it to playoffs was huge in itself to have won a playoff game now and have a chance to go and play the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, come on, like they're having an outstanding year. So happy for them.
In other news, the Lions beat the Rams 24-23. Detroit earns the first home playoff win in 30 years. Any thoughts on if Dan Campbell and his coaching style? Who's Dan Campbell?
The head coach for the Lions.
The head coach for the Lions, my favorite. And you know what?
Yes.
I just loved watching that season of the
Hard Knocks.
Mm-hmm. That's why I like him so much is from that show. He is just like an infectious personality.
He is.
Love him. And this one thing that me and Fred did do this off season or this little break, we watched like documentaries, and one of the documentaries we watched was about Barry Sanders, and we both learned a lot about the history of Detroit, Barry Sanders, his legacy, the coaches at that time, their legacy, yada yada yada, and then how this was, I don't know, I just like watched it with a different perspective after watching that because of the respect for like Barry Sanders and like all the things he did, and also just that franchise and how they haven't won in however long I just said.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever they won and they showed a clip of one of the fans like getting emotional,
Mm-hmm.
it was just so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so beautiful.
Yeah, it was. It was. I'm sure it was great for the city of Detroit. I mean, that's been
Huge.
a long time coming to win a playoff game at home, right there. That's and I'm sure there was mixed feelings about Matthew Stafford coming back home
Oh
and his
yeah.
reunion to Detroit. I know I saw a lot of booing and all that other stuff, but
Yeah.
hopefully there's no true hard feelings. I know Detroit obviously appreciates what Stafford did for them. It's just competition.
Totally.
They got to win the game.
Yeah.
Of course, they're going to boo, all this sort of things. It's just the competition of it all.
Booing's a part of football. It is what it is.
Competition of it all. So yeah, the Detroit Lions, they won a very tight ball game at the end there. I mean, it went down to the wire.
Totally.
That first down that they had at the end, where it was a super gutsy call. Instead of running the ball, which is more of a conservative thing to do at that time of the game, where you want to run the clock a little bit more, they decided to pass it. I think it was on like second down after a timeout. Instead of running the ball, they passed it. And had they not completed that pass, clock stops,
Yeah.
gives them Rams more time. They possibly get a stop, but they complete the pass and ice the game off that one play. It was amazing.
I loved seeing that. If I wasn't a Niners fan, I think I'd be a Detroit Lions
Wow.
fan.
Wow,
my
folks,
style.
you heard it here first.
Yeah.
Well, too bad. You're a Niners fan.
And then lastly, the games this weekend, the Chiefs beat the Dolphins 26-7. The Chiefs are averaging their lowest points per game, 21.8. And yeah, there's that.
Yeah,
That was a lot of points. I mean,
that game was significant. The fact that the weather was the big talking point that whole game. It was one of the coldest
freezing
games in
cold.
NFL history.
Yeah.
Playing in something like that is miserable from
Climate change.
experience. The only thing you can do in that situation is literally mind over matter. Mind over matter.
But I was saying the whole time, I was like, I feel like the Chiefs have the upper hand. One, because they're at home. Two, because they're used to this cold weather during this time of year. They're used to playing in frigid cold.
Nobody's used to it.
You don't think, Fred?
I promise you.
Versus the Dolphins, who are
the
Florida.
Dolphins for sure are less used to it, I guess you could say. But nobody's used to -4 with wind chill feeling like -20.
They're used to the negatives, but they're used to like really cold.
The thing that they had to their advantage was playing at home in their stadium.
Okay.
Had they, you know what, they're gonna have to go on the road next week and play in Buffalo in a cold environment.
Acclimated because
both teams are used to the cold.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see if I'm right. Wait, no, because they're both used to the cold. I guess that wouldn't really
matter. Here's my thing. Here's why I say what I say, because from personal experience, we're sunny Californians, and we walked into Green Bay in 21 when it was 0 degrees.
Sure did.
And we took care of business.
We sure did.
But it wasn't because one team was more acclimated to the cold over the other.
I'm not saying that's why the Chiefs won.
No, I know. You're saying that they're more used to the cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they probably are. But I'm not saying that's why they won.
Polar bears are used to the cold rather than if you put a grizzly bear.
They won because their defense showed up and showed out, and because Miami's offense couldn't get anything rolling. Kansas City got Pat Mahomes, and the offense just scores points, just boom, boom, boom. Even though it looks hard sometimes, they still do it.
They just do it.
Miami's defense is freaking slaughtered. They have injuries all across the board, season-ending injuries, all their key players out. So it was going to be a tough one to win for Miami. Mm-hmm. Kansas City handled business at home. They're on to the next. They go on the road. They play the Bills. That'll be a fun game to watch for everyone.
And then the game that's on right now, I'm not sure what the score is. Let me check. How about you check?
What, the score of the game?
Yeah.
Currently, I mean, by the time you guys are listening to this or watching this tomorrow, you already know who has won this game. But currently, the Buccaneers are up 16-9 before the half, and the Eagles have the ball on their own 18. So the Eagles are going to have to pull some things together. They're down by 7 points right now. So it's a one-score game. It's not too bad. Not too bad for the Eagles. So yeah, we'll see what happens there.
So now that all the games are done, over with, we know who we're playing. Like we said earlier, we are playing the Packers on Saturday night at 5:15 p.m. That's 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. And how do you feel about it, Fred?
I feel amazing. I said from the start, whoever got to come into Levi's, bring them on.
Mm-hmm.
and we are going to prepare just as hard as we've been preparing all season long for this matchup. It's going to be one for the ages. It's going to be such an electric atmosphere, such a fun atmosphere to be a part of, environment to be a part of. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a battle.
It will be. And then, so in terms of just like the next up in weeks and saying if we get through this game with a win, we then progress to the next round of playoffs. And how many teams go to that round?
So this upcoming week, there's only 4 games.
Wow.
There's 4 games.
Gosh, okay.
2 AFC games, 2 NFC games.
Well,
that's it. So that just goes to show you that literally we're at the end of this thing.
Dicing them.
We're literally at the end of this thing.
Well,
and so after this weekend is over, there will be 2 games remaining.
Okay, so after this weekend, there's 2 games remaining, and then it's that next week. There's no more off week. We'll play that next week.
Yep.
And then whoever wins those games, does the Super Bowl right after that, or is it a little bit later?
I think it's 2 weeks after that.
2 weeks after that. Okay. For
informational purposes.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're not worried about none of that.
I'm just thinking because I'm all about a schedule and a time, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we're just focused on Green Bay. We're just focused on winning one game.
I'm just saying in terms of schedule for myself.
We're just focused on winning just one game Saturday night. Green Bay Packers, 49ers. And boy, it's going to be a goodie. What are you looking forward to most about the game?
I'm looking for
because you were showing me some outfit ideas that you were having for what you.
I was gonna say my outfit. Yeah.
Okay.
Because
you got that dialed in yet, or
I haven't. I have to order a few more things I have to order. And I haven't really given a crap what I looked like. The last 2-3 months.
Okay.
So I got kind of like a surge of energy, and I was just like, you know what, Sydney, like you're as big as you are. It is what it is. Oh my God. You might as well dress yourself, just dress yourself.
Okay.
Literally bare minimum, Sid,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of had to talk with myself about that. So I'm going to try to dress.
Yeah.
Stuff myself into something.
Here we go. It just never ends. It never ends, folks. This is where we're at. All right. This is every day.
I'm going to feel good about it. Regardless of like really how it looks.
You're going to look amazing.
I'm going to feel good about it.
You're going to look amazing.
I'm gonna have a great night. I'm gonna be with my friends.
Yep.
It's gonna be great.
That's it.
And you're gonna have an even better night.
The best night ever.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm wearing?
I do know what you're wearing.
So this is a first. I usually keep my fits on the down low for the game, but I figured this is our last podcast of the year. We're shutting down for the playoffs after tonight.
Well, it's not the last podcast of the year. It's the
last one of the season.
Of the first season.
Last podcast of the season.
I don't want to scare the folks.
Last podcast of the season. This is the first time that we're going to do this. So for this game, Levi sent me this Levi's jacket that I'm rocking to the game this week.
Thank you, Levi.
And they sent me this custom jacket. It says "Faithful to the Bay." Sorry, I was covering my mouth. Custom jacket, "Faithful to the Bay" on it. I'm not sure how exactly I'm going to dress it up quite yet, but
we're going to style it. We're going to figure it out.
It's got the championships right there on the arm.
Wow.
So I just wanted something that was going to have my mind right while looking snazzy for the game. So
thank you, Levi's.
Thank you to Levi's for hooking me up with that.
Thank you for that. So we're both going to just be dressed to impress. And we're, what most importantly, we're going to be focused, we're going to be dialed in, and we're going to be appreciative of this moment.
That's it.
Because sometimes you get wrapped up in the wrong stuff. Then what are you going to wear? Oh, we're first seed. Instagram. No. We need to stay dialed in on what's important.
Who are you telling?
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Because you've been telling me. So then I'm now digesting that.
There we go.
And telling you.
Thank you. That's the whole thing I've been trying
in life, guys. And it's not what you wear, who you know, what you drive. It's your heart and your mind.
Yeah.
And your focus.
That's it. Go ahead. You should be on a TED Talk one of these days.
I listened to 2 TED Talks today while I was getting ready.
Stop.
2.
How did I know that?
Because I guess I just spoke it.
What were they on?
The first one was on, what was it? First one was on self-confidence.
There we go.
And then
we know we all need some of that.
Especially me, Lord knows it. And the second one was on, I think, like how to stay motivated, like how to keep your drive in life. Like, because right now I'm in a lull.
Okay.
Which is interesting. No, I don't think it is, because, like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people would go through this. Like, I'm at a really pivotal point in my life, and like, I don't know, I'm at a lull personally. So I'm just like, okay, what I need to change something, like my mindset on life and my values and just like myself as a person. Just I think it needs to just be realigned.
Okay.
So I'm like working on those kind of steps.
That's amazing.
Small little steps.
That's amazing. I know we talked a little bit about that.
We did.
But I'm glad you watched some TED Talks today.
But like, we talked about it, but then I'm like, every single day I'm like, I have to do the work to make those things happen. So just like little stuff, like listen to TED Talks and like positive affirmations. Try not to be scroll on Instagram so much. Like look at stuff that serves my brain and does not, because it's a disease.
It is.
It's
that social media, boy.
It's bad.
It'll tear you up.
And it'll get you down.
Tear you up.
It'll tear you up.
I'll be careful with that.
I know.
So, wow. Sydney here is just serving us up a nice sermon today.
You gotta mix it up between football, but we'll cut there with the football and we'll get into some fan questions.
Okay, wow, fan questions.
I'll do the first one.
Okay.
At CDub49 says, Fred, what was the hottest and coldest game you ever played in? Sydney, what was the most extreme weather you've attended? I'll start this one off because I already know. The hottest was definitely a preseason game, not this preseason, but the year before. It was a preseason game. And
here?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It was here. And I was, I remember because we were sitting out like in the family section and I wore I wore a tube top and a pair of like skinny jeans that were like cropped. Like I wasn't like I had a lot of clothes on, you know?
Yeah.
It was back in my slim trim days. And
okay.
I was just sweating. I had never been hotter. It was out of control. I remember that one just being really nuts, really, really, really hot.
Okay,
wow.
And
then the coldest was definitely the Green Bay game that we were just speaking about. I wore a ski suit to that game.
Whoa.
And it was cute, but it was definitely needed because of the conditions. I mean, Green Bay, it's so cold there. It was snowing like a blizzard. It was wild.
That was a crazy game. So easily, I'd say that was the coldest game I've been a part of. And with those games, you have to plan ahead to make sure that everything is to a T. What you're going to be wearing, the different type of substances you got to rub on your skin to keep yourself warm, and on your hands and your feet. Your hands and feet are the first to go in those conditions. So that was by far the coldest, but it was the most rewarding at the end when we won that game. So that was one of the most rewarding games ever. And then hottest game I've ever been a part of is actually, you don't know this, but in 2019, we started the year in Tampa Bay in September.
Oh my gosh.
And so I remember it was probably like a 95er with humidity beginning of this football season. And I remember I went out there for warm-ups, and I usually wear this little white undershirt underneath my jersey. And literally by the time we were done with warm-ups and we had to go back in, I had to take it off. I had to literally go no shirt underneath my pads because that's how hot it was.
That's how you get acne right there.
Of course, that's probably the first thing you think of, but no. It was
too hot. You had to take it off?
It was way too hot. I had to take it off, and you literally wear the least amount of clothes as possible out there to try to fend for yourself, and you're on the sideline with the fan on you. You're taking Gatorade and water and the electrolytes and trying to just keep from passing out and cramping up.
Here's the question. Would you rather play an extremely hot game or an extremely cold game?
Gosh, that's so hard. I'd probably say a hot game.
You would rather play a hot game?
I can't think. I got to use the restroom. Boy, was that much needed. You
pick up. What's your favorite game?
I had the chills. I think I'd prefer to play in the heat than the cold, because playing in the freezing cold, is so miserable.
Yeah.
Like playing in the heat is miserable too. Let's not get that twisted.
Because like everything gets hard and like it hurts.
The thing I hate the most about the cold games is my hands and fingers and my feet.
It hurts. Like painful.
They're numb the entire
Yeah,
time.
that's painful.
Not only is it painful, it's just like you literally can't play football when you don't have hands or feet.
Yeah.
So luckily I've learned tips and tricks to try to keep that from happening. But like my hands are so beat up that the blood flow is already like not that great to the fingers that are all jammed up. So when they're freezing, they're done. So I think I prefer hot.
Okay, good to know. Next question.
Next question. At Roheath Canan 71, year in and year out, it feels like the 49ers have the most tight-knit team in the NFL. It's like a family. What does this team do to get that sort of tight-knit family type feel throughout the team and organization? What would you say, babe? Since you're right there in the thick of it and you see us, year in and year out be so close. What do you think makes the 49ers close?
I think they have a great leader.
Leaders.
Well, you're my leader, so Fred Warner is a captain, and I think I don't know, I feel like your energy, your vibe, and all the other captains, if they're dialed in, I don't know, I feel like their energy, whatever you put out as a leader, is captivating and infectious. So I feel like if you're doing that and creating a closeness, then what else do your teammates? I mean, of course, everyone could be like, "No, I don't know. I'm not in the locker room, baby." You are.
I just wanted to know, like, from the outside looking in, what you maybe would have thought. But that's okay. That's a good point. I'd say from personal experience, being here the last 6 years, it's not even the fact that we do like a bunch of like team dinners and like guys going to each other's houses every single day of every single week. Like I know those are sort of things that you can do to like build the camaraderie within a team, but I think the thing that makes our team close is going through hard things together and coming out on the other side of it stronger than you were. And like I say that, every team is different every year. Like we have a new team every year. So only a select few guys have gone through like different hardships of, what we've gone through. But I'm talking about hard things as in like training camp. Like I think we have one of the toughest training camps in the league. Like as hard as we practice, as competitive as we practice, I think even though, you fight it out all training camp, I think that honestly at the end of the day makes you closer for when the battles come in regular season and throughout the year. And then, same with the type of adversity you go out throughout the year. And it helps that you have guys in the locker room who all care about football so much and truly want to be successful at it and care for one another. So that ultimately builds, a tight team.
Speaking of the training camp, I remember this last training camp you told me, I don't know who the player was, if he's even on the team, but there's a player that came from another team and that was just commenting on like how hard you guys practice and like they weren't used to it, and they were like, oh my god, like I'm dying because whatever team that person came from didn't do it the way that you guys did it. So he wasn't like used to all that.
I think like doing that sort of stuff is a part of building that camaraderie, because you want to be able to say that you earned it at the end of this thing, like and I think we have guys that usually that guys that make the work environment enjoyable even through the hard times.
Last question from James Hatcher 7187. Have you guys picked a name out yet?
Whoa.
James, we have picked out a name. We've had it picked out since like the first trimester. It's a name that I've always loved. It's something that...
What is it?
We're not going to disclose the name of our child until he's born.
Okay, we're holding off, guys. So look for the next Instagram post.
No.
Yeah, that's the only way they're going to find out.
Not the next one.
The next one about a baby.
Yeah.
That when our child is born. Sometime in March, you'll figure it out.
His name's picked out. It's a strong name.
And it is coming soon.
Okay, that's all the fan questions. That about wraps it up for this last episode of the first season of the Warner House.
Whoa.
It's just like, wow.
Wow.
We've come a long way.
Yeah, they were showing clips of literally that first intro that we did from week 1.
I was like a robot. It takes a second.
It does.
And the thing is, you know what's so beautiful about that is that next season we're gonna be even better.
We'll have taken some time off, so we'll have to like kind of get our footing back.
No, we're gonna we're gonna dive right in.
We're gonna have to get our footing back a little bit, honey.
No, we're gonna dive right in. I'm gonna have so much to say. Okay. We're gonna have been through so much. We're gonna have been through the rest of these playoffs, whatever that looks like.
I'm gonna have my harness on with my baby in the front like this.
We're gonna have our baby boy. We're gonna have went through a birth of our firstborn son. We're going to have been through playoffs, whatever that means for us, the rest of this football season, off season, all of that experiences, trips. We're going to have so much to talk about, you guys. So I'm excited. Mm-hmm. I'm excited. Just like looking back, what are some of your favorite like moments from season 1? Was it a win, a specific win, like for the team? Was it a favorite guest? Anything?
I mean, there'll never be anything like that. That episode after our win, coming off of the win versus the Cowboys in primetime, after that the game that obviously that we had, and that point of the season, I think that took us to like 5-0 or something.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
That was a good memory. I think just in terms of the podcast, my favorite episode this season was the episode where we announced our pregnancy. That was my favorite.
Okay. That wasn't too long ago.
Yeah, that wasn't too long ago. But that was my favorite episode of the season, I think. Because I was just so excited. It was nice to be able to share with you guys. So so from September to January, no, we're gonna cut that out. So we've been pretty successful. We've totaled over 6 million views just on YouTube of the Warner House and over 100,000 followers on all socials. That have to do with the Warner podcast. So I don't know. I just feel like it's a big deal for just a little podcast that we started, just wanting to talk football, talk family, talk, life and in this industry from my perspective, obviously from your perspective as a player, as a wife. I hope that like someone got something out of this, right?
I'm sure a lot of people got something out of it.
At the least we were just entertaining to you on your Tuesday commute,
That's it. At the least, I'm pretty sure we provided some comedic relief.
Some laughs. You did.
You're funnier than I am.
You're so funny.
You're actually way funnier than me.
It just comes natural.
Look at that. Look at that.
So,
she strikes again.
This has been one of, I think looking back at 2023, this has been one of the most like, how can I say this? The most unusual thing that we've done. I didn't see us doing something like this. The fact that we jumped in and we're like, let's do this. We're so excited. And then to be successful on top of that is like a huge accomplishment, I think.
We went in with zero expectations. It was something that we just thought would be fun.
Yeah.
And it ended up being something that we really, truly enjoyed. And it, I'm sure a lot of people got something out of it, but I know we got something out of it too.
So much.
And for it to be as successful as it was cool to see, given that we're truly just trying to be ourselves. Like, we're not trying to like put on some face for anybody or do it because we're being told to do so. Like, we truly just wanted to come on and just share a little bit of our life and our behind the scenes, which I'm sure people enjoy and can, take something from. So.
It's been very self-serving. It really has. It, like, through watching and these are memories that we'll always be able to look back on and look back at these episodes and laugh and give you guys laughs and entertainment and let you know, of course, like a little inside to our life, and it makes us feel closer to the faithful for sure. I love being at the games and people coming up to me and be like, I listen to your podcast. Like, I'll go to the gym. People, I listen to your podcast. The grocery store. It's just like, so you feel so connected to people, and if I get anything out of social media, it's connection. That's what actually matters, as I've been doing my reflecting, as we talked about. So we are so thankful for you guys, and this season has been incredible, and we're taking a small hiatus. Like we said, this is going to be the end of season 1. We're going to pick back up Oh my goodness. Sorry, guys. We're going to pick back up for season 2 sometime in the summer. We don't know exactly what month, but if you're connected with us on our socials, we'll of course like drop that whenever we have the exact day. But we will be gone for playoffs. We'll be gone for the birth and off season, but we will be back before probably preseason starts. Well, again, we'll let you know. Just stay tuned on our socials and stuff. And yeah, wish us luck. There's a lot of big stuff coming up these next 3 months, so stay connected with us on all of our other socials. We're not going to stop posting, of course, on everything else. We can stay updated through that. But this is the last Tuesday of the Warner House until season 2. We love you guys. We are thankful for you. Go Niners. And we will see you guys when we see you.
We'll see you guys Saturday night.
Yeah, we'll see you Saturday.
For some playoff football. Green Bay Packers, 49ers.
Huge.
Be sure to subscribe anywhere you get your podcasts and to the Warner House on YouTube.